Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-characters listener by me. So let's get into it. Kazuha. Kazuha was a well-known fighter in Inazuma, so no wonder he was really strong. Sometimes even without meaning to be so. That's why when the two of you had this argument and it ended up gripping your wrist tightly, he broke it, and now you are crying in pain. Plunging away from him, he had just stared at you, kind of horrified at what he'd done, but nothing he could do or say would make him go back in time and fix his mistakes. So that's why he apologizes over and over and takes you to a doctor, someone to heal you as well. However, he does make sure to stay away from you, disgusted with his own behavior and kind of really mad at himself for doing all of this to you. However, you would have to be the one to reach out to him to really assure him that you're fine and that it was not his fault because he truly didn't mean it, no matter how it may seem like it. Heizou. Heizou is much more lenient, and most of the time he's really chill, so you can't really see him arguing and being too violent. But even then, everyone can go to such extremes if provoked so. And this argument, it was pretty sensitive for Heizou's case. And that's why he kind of got violent and ended up breaking your arm. He stared at you, unsure of what you really did. He was a martial artist, and that explained his strength, but he never intended to use it on you, or someone who was innocent, defenseless, and most importantly, someone he loved, and someone that trusted him. And he had just violated all of that as he looked at you. Lion, I'm truly sorry. I didn't mean it, he said, trying to find the words to apologize, but nothing really felt right. But you told me you need to stay away from him for some time to be able to decide what you're really gonna do in the situation, especially after what he had just done. What with him breaking your trust like that? Albedo. Albedo was never a violent person, and even better, he was really good with children. So really, the idea of him hurting you was beyond you, and beyond almost anyone on Mondstadt. However, it was not really him hurting you, but you did not know that. It was his clone, and he had broken your arm when you tried to argue with him, telling him whatever that he was doing was wrong. Of course, you were getting in his way, and that's why he wanted to make you scared of him, and he ended up breaking your arm. But albeit had come back, you were kind of scared of him, telling him to stay away from you, and he was really confused on why, until you had told him what happened. And after that, he had just apologized, telling you that you'll make sure he finds the fake Albedo and make him pay. Venti, you know Venti's an Archon, and that meant, as weak as he might be, he's truly strong compared to any other ordinary human, or even someone with ambition. So that's why, when you're arguing with him, and he gets mad at you, telling you you just can't go in the middle of the argument like that, he ends up holding you with the arm, and he does not expect to break it from the sheer strength that he was using, due to him being so angry. But it's too late. You're crying, looking at him like he betrayed you. And honestly, looking at it now, he most likely did. You trusted him, and he had broken that trust. He does apologize, but it truly does bring him to realize that maybe he's not meant to be with humans after all. Maybe he was too bad for you, and maybe that's why things would never work out. Scaramouche. Scaramouche had pretty harsh punishments for his subordinates whenever they did something wrong. and he was used to it. After all, he's never had anyone close to him, anyone that he even vaguely considered a friend, for hundreds of years. So that's why, when you disobey him, his first thought is to break your arm. That doesn't take him a second to, and he only realizes what he's done when it's too late. Looking at you and your broken arm, and the way you clutch it so closely to your chest. Lion, I didn't mean to. I. Stop it, Skara. Stop trying to justify it, you said through your tears. And in that moment, he'd realized just how far gone he is, and how maybe he truly cannot have a good relationship with anyone, because he would risk hurting them too. So he walks away, with the intention of you never seeing him again. Tighnari is a lot more maintained than that, and most of the time, he really does have solid control over himself and his own emotions. So it's really hard to imagine him doing something that would end up with hurting you like this. But it happened nonetheless. And it was kind of an accident. He wanted to protect you from something, and it ended up being too rough in the heat of the moment. And that's why, right now, he's looking at the broken wrist, realizing that, in his goal to protect you, he had ended up hurting you instead. He apologizes, like, a lot. But you do tell him that you're fine, and that there's truly nothing to worry about. You will just get looked at later, and it'll be fine. It seriously just cannot be worse than what could have happened. Xiao, it was really just an accident. He had never meant to hurt you, and he swore in his life that he would never hurt you on purpose. But this was just an accident, one that he had made, without any calculations. He was trying to just get you away from where you were going, but you were not listening to him. So that's why he tried to bring you back, by force. And that ended up in you getting your arm broken, and him staring at it in guilt and self-hatred. No matter how many times you told him that he was right, and what happened afterwards was truly dangerous, and that he ended up protecting you. He could only look at your broken arm and blame himself for it. However, you do talk to Childe, and he makes sure to talk to him, telling him that it's truly not his fault, and he would know if it was. Childe had done this in his own anger, and he felt immense guilt for it, to the point where he got down on his knees, crying, and begged you to stay with him, to give him another chance, a chance to be a good person to you, and a chance for him to prove to you that he's not a hurtful person, that it's never who he was. He might be a fighter, yes, and a harbinger, but he was never like that with you, and was never meant to be that way. He wants a chance, just one, where he gets to make things right, as they were always meant to be. Cyno, being the general Mamatara, it meant that Cyno was very good in hand-to-hand combat, and just physically, generally. But it also meant that when he got mad, he would have a hard time treating you like a person that he was supposed to be close to, and not like how he would treat someone that he's superior to, like in his usual profession. And that's why he ends up grabbing you by the arm tightly, telling you that you should not try to get on his nerves and talk back to him that way. And that's when you heard the crack, and he'd realized he had broken your arm by accident. And then he apologizes, telling you he didn't mean it, that it was all an accident. But you just shove him away, crying, telling him that you don't want to see him again. Not after he hurt you that way. Not when he had broken your trust, and your feelings as well. But who knows what might happen? Perhaps, one day, he will try to fix himself for you and see things your way.